Hello and welcome to Business News. The gap between the naira and the dollar at the official and the parallel market has continued to widen as the central bank reactions Russian sale of the greenback to some businesses and bureau de change operators. While the central bank has several times revised forex reserves to protect and even shore up the naira. According to Dr. Biodun Adedipe, an economist and chief executive of B. Adedipe and Associates, the pressure on the naira will not abate as long as local demand for imported machinery and consumables remain very high.
Advice that we remove capital controls now. Rather, what we should do is put a time limit on it. And my reason is this. Sometime in October 1992, this same argument came up. And I raised the question, who among us Nigerians will be glad to see the naira depreciate to 600 naira to $1, as it was in Ghana at that point in time? And of course, the entire hall was silent. So the question is, if you talk about the market, freely determine the price, you don't have the capacity. Don't forget that as at Monday this week, external results at $29 was by far less than 4 months of our import bills.
$29 billion.
Okay? Now, that is on the one side. The other side to it is that even that $29 billion we saw is a moving average, which means the actual amount is likely to be less than that figure. So which means the capacity is not there anyway. If we talk about naira finding its free level in the market, this economy will go haywire. And of course, there are two critical things that I've noticed over the Nigerian economy in the last 40 years. Once the naira exchange value drops, it impacts commodity prices. And the other thing that impacts commodity prices is the pump head price of petroleum products. Every time since the 1960s that we said we will remove subsidy, it will impact prices. Of course, you remove it today. If your currency loses value, subsidy will come back again tomorrow. So it's an unending cycle. If you look at the gross domestic product of Nigeria, there are 6 sectors that dominate economic activities in Nigeria. You pick out agriculture, you pick out ICT, you pick out manufacturing, you pick out mining and quarrying. Of course, a portion of that is oil and gas that we make so much noise about. Then you also have real estate, then trade. Now, those are the 6 major sectors, accounting for 77.7% of our economy, 2014. By September this year, those sectors accounted for 80% of our economy. So if the government will pay attention to those, what do we need to encourage activities there to produce more so that instead of depending, for example, on imported rice, we all begin to eat rice, cultivated and processed in Nigeria.
In the meantime, the naira fell to about 280 naira to the dollar at the parallel market today. That's after bank cuts overseas spending limit for travelers. On Wednesday, the local currency ended at a record low of 270 naira to the greenback at the non-official market as the central bank continues to engage in strict foreign exchange control. While gaining momentum, permitted equities trading at the Nigerian stock market today as the key indicators took a northward twist on the curve. Here's Temple Ashaju with a summary.
Welcome to Stock Market Reports. The Nigerian equities market staged a slight recovery with a marginal increase of 0.02%. All-share index now stands at 26,953.05 with a market capitalization of 9.26 trillion naira. Thursday's gainers were led by Forte Oil with 5%. Other gainers include Total and Unilever. On the flip side, Mobil lost 4.96% to close at 125 naira 84 kobo. Nigerian breweries depreciated by 1.84%, while UACN shared 4.98%. On the activity chart, Champion Breweries led with 36.71 million shares. And at the end of the day's session, volume came in at 172.71 million shares, valued at 2.61 billion naira in 2,480 deals. And that's the stock market report for today. I'm Temple Ashaju.
Oh, thanks a lot, Temple. Nigeria's trade balance ends a negative 32.0% in the third quarter of 2015 as total exports fell sharply and imports narrowed slightly. A new report released today by the Statistics Bureau shows total merchandise trade down 7.8% to 4.021 trillion naira in the quarter ended September. That's comparing it to 4.35 trillion naira in the second quarter. Nigeria's total value of export fell 12.1%, or about 132 billion naira during the period under review, while imports narrowed just 1%, or 17.4 billion naira. Compared to the 2014 third quarter, however, total exports value was 38.3% negative to 2.4 trillion naira, while net imports fell 7.3% to 132.4 billion naira. While major equities around the globe ended the day's trading session in the positive territory, let's take a quick look at those figures. And that's it on Business News for tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Anne Nwawadu. The rest of the news at 10 continues with Ijoma.
Those who may be anxious about the removal of subsidy on petroleum products next year may have nothing to fear, and that's because the federal government has said that it's not interested in such, but rather a price modulation that will reduce its involvement in pricing starting 2016. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachiku, explained that the 97 naira per litre projection will be a cap on the price of fuel, with a gradual increase between the current price of 87 naira and 97 naira until a fair price is reached in the pricing review. Still ahead on the news at 10, President Muhammadu Buhari marks a low-key birthday at the presidential villa. Do join us again.